Hi everyone. Today we're going to design our own Martian rover. Normally we do this either in what's called a DTP package, a desktop publishing package, or a vector drawing package. Usually these days when we're designing things on a computer we use something called a CAD package, a computer-aided design, and a lot of them these days will now give us 3D views. We're not going to go into this sort of complexity. We're going to use a 2D package, but I just wanted everybody to see how this is set up. So here, look, we've got our top view of the rover. If you notice, everything that is on that rover lines up with the front view. So the side of where the wheels are is lining up with the side of where the wheels are. Here, wherever those joints and axles onto the wheels go, where the camera is, and so on. And then these line up then with the side view here, and the wheels are lining up across there. What a 3D package like this does is it then does actually give us a 3D representation there, and what we can then do is just allow the computer to go through and shade each of those. It's just going to take a little bit of time. There we go. So we've now got a full view of our rover, and we can then move that around and see exactly what it's going to look like. We're not going to go for things as complicated as this today. And I'll be honest, I didn't build this rover. This is a model that I borrowed, but it just give us the idea for any of these. So if we take that now as full screen, let's just have a look at this rover design. We've got our camera on there. You can see how the wheels are attached at the sides, and these are on a suspension system. We don't really have to worry too much about that. And we can then look at it from any view, but looking at it from any view always starts with those simpler views we were just looking at before, where we've got the side, the front, the top. We're going to use our Google Apps again. So the first thing that you need to do, get yourself logged into Google. So if you just go as if you're logging into your email, once you've got that symbol there for your initial, then you know you're logged in. So at this point, pause the video, get to Google, get yourself logged in, and then come back again. Okay, if everyone's back, we're now going to go to the Google Apps here. And what we're looking for today is slides. So slides is a little bit like PowerPoint, but it's also got some fairly easy drawing tools in there. So we're going to click on that one, and then we're going to go to blank, any pop-ups that come up, just close them down there. Where it says untitled presentation, we don't want that, so we're going to put in your name, and then our title is My Martian Rover, and just click somewhere else. You can see that it's saving as we go, so we're okay there. Let's do the same here. So have My Martian Rover, and then let's get your name and your class. So we've got our title page there. Next we're going to go over to here, we're going to go just above it. So we don't just want a new slide, so we're going to go to this tab next to it, and then we're going to go to blank. So now we've got our blank drawing page. First thing that we're going to do is draw our Martian rover from the side. Now you don't have to do this exactly the same as I'm doing, so it's a good idea to watch the first part here, and then you can change some of the design a little bit yourself as we go. Tools here, we've got our normal selection tool, and we want this one today, the shape tool. If you can't find it, you go to Insert Shape. And to be honest, on most programs, if you want to draw shapes and the program lets you do it, that's where you would go, to Insert Shape. But just because it's a little bit quicker, we're going to go there. So we're going to go to Shapes, we're going to go to the rectangle, and I'm going to draw a fairly thin but longish rectangle there. Now this is, we're looking sideways on at our Martian rover. This is the base that everything else attaches to. We can always change the size and things later, that's okay. It's colouring this in a light grey, and that's fine, we don't need to change it at the moment. This is a design, it's not a drawing like you would maybe do in art, so we're not too worried about the colours. Next thing we're going to do is get some wheels on there. Let's go up to Shapes, there's the circle, or the oval as it puts it there. The difficult thing with a computer is getting that exactly circular. Even if it looks circular to you, the size and shape of your screen might be slightly different, so that can affect things as well. What we need to do is, while we've still got this and we can move it, you hold down the Shift key and that will give you a perfect circle. So get it to roughly the size that you want the wheels to be. Let go of your mouse first, then let go of Shift. Because this is going to be one of our wheels, I do want that a little bit darker. I'm going to go for that third one along there. And then what we need to think of is that in the middle of the wheel there's going to be an axle, so we can't sort of put it there really, because that would be running right through the middle. So the axle usually goes underneath the body, and I'm going to make this just poke out a little bit from the front there. Here's the mistake that people make when they start drawing things on a computer. They now try to draw another wheel. However, wheels generally need to be the same size. So what we're going to do is click on this one, and we've got a few ways of doing this now. You can go to Edit and Copy. As you can see on Copy, we could also use Control and C, or depending on what device you're on at home, you can click it once, move away, hold down the Control key, click and drag, let go of the mouse, let go of the Control key. So it doesn't matter which one of those you do, but you need a wheel. But now we've got one that's an exact duplicate. So as I move around, you see the red line. The red line tells us when we're lined up with something. So ideally we want to line up with that other wheel. I'm going to put this just in the middle there. So you see now I've got the other red line telling me that I'm in the middle of our rectangle base there. So let's do the same thing again. I'll do it the longer way this time. We'll go copy that, click somewhere else, edit, paste. So we're going to line it up with the other two wheels, and I'm going to just make this poke off the back slightly, and then we click somewhere else. So we've just got our base there. Now it could be that on your base you decide that maybe you've got 4 sets of wheels and they're a little bit smaller. Maybe you've just got wheels at the front and the back. That's up to you. This would be a good point now to stop, get the base of your rover, get the wheels on, and then come back again. So if you stop there, pause the video, do that, come back. If everybody's done that, now we're going to start putting some equipment on top of the rover. I'm going to keep this fairly simple. I want you to keep it fairly simple because you can always then come back and add other things later on. One of the things that the rover on Mars is going to need is a communications dish, a satellite dish. So I'm going to go into the shapes, and then we'll have a look at what we've got here. Now that moon shape is quite good for a satellite dish. This program's actually got this one called a chord. You can use either of them, it's fine. We could probably get away with that one as well if we wanted. I'm going to use the chord, and I'm going to move away from my rover. I'm going to hold down Shift and I'm going to draw that. Now you see these orange lines, that allows us to move along the circle, because what I actually want there is a semicircle. I'm going to go to this node on the outside here and bring it in just to narrow things down a little bit. And now at the top there, look, we've got this circle. So if we can get hold of that, we can rotate this 180 degrees, so now it's pointing forward. To resize it, use a corner, but you must hold down shift. Right, if you resize it without using shift, you could end up with some very strange shapes. So hold down shift, resize that a little bit, click somewhere else, click in the middle, and move it just there to the back of our rover. We all know that satellite dishes do not just float in the air above a rover, so now we're going to go back to shapes and we're going to go back to our rectangle. I'm going to start roughly in the middle there, and I'm just going to draw a thin stick down into the bottom there. Whilst that's still selected, and this is another useful thing of any computer drawing package, we're going to go to Arrange, Order, Center Back. So now I didn't have to draw it exactly in the right size. It's at the back, it's hidden. We're fine with that. I'm going to click on that again because I'm going to copy it. Then I'm going to paste it, so I'm going to use Ctrl V now to paste it in, or you could go Edit and Paste. Let's take our other stick and put it so it's just slightly below there. We're then going to go Arrange, Order, Center Back. Our rover needs a camera to look at things. For that, I'm going to go to the shapes. I'm going to use this slightly rounded rectangle this time, and let's do it roughly a squarish sort of shape there, because we're seeing this from the side now. So I've just got two pieces of equipment on that. It's not a lot, but it's enough just to get us the idea. So at this point again, stop the video, come back once you've got your satellite dish and your camera on top of the rover. If everybody's done that, let's move on with the next part. When we're doing any kind of design, and you'll do this more in technology, we need to know exactly what things look like. So we're looking at the side of that. We have no idea just how wide it is, how wide it is from the front, and from the top and so on with any of those. What we're going to do now is we're going to do a top-down view of it here. Start by clicking on our base and copying it. So let's copy that, let's paste it. Now remember again, those lines, I want it lining up exactly with the middle of that top base. I'm going to bring it down to here. So now we're looking at it from the top. Now it would be rather unstable if we had a very thin rover like that. So let's drag that out a little bit. You can move it up slightly, making sure that it lines up exactly with the top of that. Now we've got to do the wheels. The wheels, when we look at them from the top, they are going to be exactly the same size as they are from the side. They don't get smaller just because we're looking at it from a different direction. Some people make the mistake here of trying to copy the wheels and put them on top of there. Again, it can't move with the wheels sideways on. So you've got to think now, what would a tyre or a wheel look like from a top view? And the answer is it's going to usually look fairly rectangular. I'm going to use that slightly curved rectangle again. I'm going to go right onto the edge here and just over to there. You can see these lines appear, look, as we start getting to the same size, so we know we're in the same sort of area. Let go and then bring this down. So now I'm getting that red line to line it up with the wheels on the side view there. We've locked it down onto the side of here. Think about where it's going on Mars. Mars is rocky, it's sandy. We don't want thin wheels that are going to sink in, so we want big chunky wheels there. And now let's go to our colour tool and let's pick that same dark grey that we did for those. Again, we need the other wheels in exactly the same place and they will be the same size. So we are going to copy and paste that wheel. You can do it from the edit, you can do Ctrl C, Ctrl V. As soon as I move it here, look, it's lining up with that one on the top, and then now it's lining up with the other wheel. Control C, Control V. We need it to line up with the wheel at the top. Now it's not doing that for me at the moment, so I'm going to move up there so I get that line and then move down, so I can see it's not giving me the line all the way down, but as long as I'm careful moving downwards, there we go, we've got all of them. Stop the video there, duplicate the base, bring it down to here and widen it. Use the curved rectangle tool to get the same size as one of the wheels and draw the wheels from the top. Just get to that stage and then come back. So you're going to stop the video now, get to this stage, come back again. If you got to that stage, now here's the next thing that some people forget about when we're drawing on a computer. Here's the big advantage of drawing things on a computer rather than drawing them with a pencil and a drawing board. We've just drawn 3 wheels from the top. We need the wheels on the other side. So we're going to click there and we're going to draw a rectangle that touches them. Don't touch the base, just the wheels. It will select those. So now let's copy them. Let's paste them. Line them up with the middle of this. And now we've got our top view of the Rover there. Again, it's worth just pausing now and do that to get the 3 wheels here duplicated on the other side. Pause it, come back again. Alright, so if you've done that, now we need to start duplicating this equipment that's on the top. The reason that I chose that shape, if you think of a satellite dish, it's circular from the front, but from the sides and the top it looks pretty much the same. I'm just going to copy that and paste it. Let's line it up there and then very carefully move it downwards. So I just put it in the middle down here, and it's given me some useful guidelines in blue there to tell me I'm in the middle. There is our satellite dish on the top. Can do the same for our camera. Copy it and paste it. Let's line it up with the original one, and then as you go you just sometimes need to keep moving it back down again. We're lining it up now with the satellite dish at the back. Again, because we were seeing it from the side there, we don't know just how wide it is, so I'm going to widen that a little bit and then I'm going to move it again so it's in the middle and it's lined up with the one at the back. At this point it's making it slightly difficult to see these because they're in the same colour, so what I'm going to do is click on the base and I'm going to change that to white. I'm going to then click on that base and I'm going to change that to white so we can see our equipment that's on there. Duplicate both of these, move them down, resize that as you need to do, pause the video, come back again. Okay, so if you've done that, our next stage then is to now draw this from the front. Now this is where it's the most difficult one because we've got to work with both of our sketches now. I'm going to start off by duplicating that one. So let's copy that and paste it. And then I'm just going to move it over to here. Just trying to line that up at the moment and it's not letting me. Let's just put it there though for now. That tells us how long it is. That tells us how wide it is. So what I'm going to do now is take that and narrow it, and it needs to be the same thickness as on this one. Let's rotate that and you can see there it goes to 270 degrees. Put it on top of the other one and then we're just going to move until it's the same thickness. So we've got the same thickness and that's letting me line up nicely there. I like that. Now we can go over to this section. So now we're looking at our Rover from the front. Need to think, if we were looking from the front, what would the tyres look like? They'd look like one of these. Let's copy one of those and move it. But again, the tyres are not just going to be flat there on the floor. We now need to rotate this. So I can either rotate there to 270 or I can rotate this way to 90 degrees. It doesn't really matter, it gives us the same effect. I'm going to line that up with these wheels and then move them across very carefully so they're on the side of the Rover. Now that we're there, let's just copy this one, line up with that again. So now we're seeing this from the front, and when you're looking from the front, you're not going to see both sets of wheels here. What we are going to see though is our satellite dish and our camera. The satellite dish from the front is going to be a circle. Let's go back to shapes, let's go to our circle, hold down shift and draw a shape. Just try and get it roughly the same size as that, and then we can move, and you can see that I'm just slightly out at the top. So if we hold down shift and use a corner, we can get that to be the same size. Try to keep it lined up with this satellite dish on the side view. We've now lined it up with the middle here. There's our satellite dish, and we can reuse our stick. Just put that in the middle, and we're going to go arrange, order, centre back. The way that we've drawn this here, we've got our camera right in front of that. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but it does mean we're not going to really see what we've drawn there very well. So what I'm going to do is move the camera, and I'm going to just put it on the side there, making sure still look it's lined up with the one at the top here. I'm just going to put it at the side. Now I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees. I'm going to line it up with the camera there, which is going to be a little bit difficult because it keeps moving off, so I'm just taking that slowly. Let's just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Now we know, because I just did it, that it is lined up on the side there. So now we've got our camera. Let's copy the stick again, in the middle of the camera, and arrange, order, centre back. And we've got some of our equipment on there. Now that we're seeing the camera from the front, let's put a couple of lenses in. So often the cameras on robots like this, they'll have more than one lens. So you're just got to be very careful there, get right in the middle of it. And then let's copy and paste another one, try and get right in the middle of it, and line those up. Now at this point you can add more details on. So if you were thinking that you wanted a robot arm to put on there, a robot arm's fairly easy to draw really. You just need a rectangle, copy that rectangle and rotate it a little bit. I think if we're saying to there, overlap them, and then where that joint is we just put a circle. I might just copy one of these, let's make it a little bit bigger, and just put that in the middle there. So that would be our robot arm, so that the robot can pick things up if it wants to pick rocks up or something like that. And I've just done that the wrong size there, so let's just make sure I'm right on that middle one. If I highlight all of that, then I can move it to wherever I want it to be. So let's just pop that over there. Might need to now move this, but if I'm going to move it, I've got to move everything. So let's highlight all of that, move that over a little bit. So we've got plenty of space. Let's highlight just the bits on the robot arm and put that on there. And then we'd probably have something to attach it onto, so let's have another, like a spherical joint, a ball joint there, which just holds that in place. So if we've got that there and going out to the side, we want to now duplicate that as well. so that we can put that then on our top view. So it could be on the top view we do have it at a slightly different angle because it's difficult to see exactly where it would be, and again we would arrange, order, send to the back. No, I sent that backwards instead of to the back then, sorry, so let's do that again. Arrange, order, send to back, not send backwards. So it puts it right behind everything. Let's copy that and move that up, so it's going to go there, and again we're going to go arrange, order, send to back, and then we'd need to draw it on here as well. So let's copy and paste that one. It's going to go about there. And it could be that this time we only see, you know, part of the arm sort of coming out there. So let's copy and paste that, and we could just have it that our robot arm is there with another ball joint still in the middle. So because we're seeing it from a different angle, there we've just got our arm there. Because that's higher up, of course, that now needs to line up, and this one then we can rotate just so that we've got it from there. So everything should be lining up as we go through with them. Looking at that, we probably should add another part in there, but if I want to be lazy about it and say no, I can't be bothered, then let's just do it that way so that that's sticking straight out and we're not seeing it from a different angle. Again, you can add other things onto there, so it could be that maybe it actually needs some solar panels on there. So we'll just have a look at what's available. It's probably going to be just the rectangles again, so it might be that we put some solar panels here and here. Probably don't need to draw them on the top and bottom because we can't see them from there, and just add bits like that onto your rover. Once you're done with this, it will save, and then you need to email this to your teacher using the address that is on the website.